Hello friends, once again it's been another year. I'm going to take some time to reflect and I'm going to talk about 5 cool things that happened to me this year. Number 1, taking vocal lessons. If you haven't had vocal lessons from a professional, let me tell you, it's a game changer. I've been performing and singing in bars since 2013 and I was 100% self-taught. In college, one of my teachers recommended that I take vocal lessons and so I did. Found that extremely helpful in terms of basic techniques I had never done before, proper breathing, standing so I'm not restricting my breath, and how to actually practice singing. I sang some jazz, I sang some classical, and I found myself doing a lot more than I ever thought I could with my voice. And singing just becomes a lot more fun once you do it correctly. That was 2019 to 2020, and I knew I still had a lot of work to do in proper technique and making the most of my voice. Last December, I started taking vocal lessons from Hannah, who you might remember from another video I did. I've been taking lessons for a year and we've worked a lot on developing my sound. It's improved a lot since then, not only in my singing voice, but in my talking voice. She's even helped me with rapping and performance. And I can't recommend vocal lessons enough. If you haven't done it, it's just so useful. Number 2, my first music video. I've been writing and releasing music for over 10 years and I had never once made a music video. I'm not the most performative person when it comes to my art, and the idea of a music video always stressed me out, especially for rapping. In 2020, I actually tried to film a music video, but just looking back at my test footage, I was just cringing so bad I couldn't even finish it. I had a lot of stress about filming, but I had some help from my friend Willis, and after editing it, it turned out better than I expected. Nothing groundbreaking, but it was a music video, and that was a big milestone for me. And my second music video looked a lot better. I had a much clearer vision of what I wanted it to be and how I looked performing, and there was so many improvements from the first one. So that was pretty cool. Number 3, rapping live. The next milestone for me was rapping live in front of an audience. I've dropped raps sporadically since 2013, but it's always been a studio project. I've never really wanted to perform live, and I've never had enough raps where I felt like I even needed to. But this year that changed. After completing a full hip-hop album, more on that later, I decided it was ridiculous to put that much time into music that I wasn't performing live. So I decided to perform it live. The music video and just filming myself rapping was the first step, and then after I got comfortable with that, I decided I want to take this to the stage. Since these were raps that I had only done in the studio, a lot of it was memorizing my own lyrics, figuring out where to breathe, and making sure I could actually do it live. And if I couldn't, I had to make some tweaks. Thankfully, I'm usually thinking that way while I'm writing. I don't want to record something that couldn't physically be done live, and that's always been my mindset. So it wasn't too difficult. It was just a matter of planning the breathing and practicing. So I went to an open mic. I brought my beats on an iPod Nano since my phone doesn't have an aux cord. I was really nervous about it. I was a little bit shaky, but ultimately I did it. I got through it. And I got a pretty good response. People were pretty nice about it. It felt really great and therapeutic to get that done, and it's just another mental barrier that I was able to break down. I had a couple more performances, and overall they did pretty good. You know, I'm not like a polished performer yet. There's still a lot of growth I have to do, but it wasn't cringe and nobody booed me or hated it, so it's a good first step. And my vocal teacher helped me quite a bit on the rapping, as well as how to move and be expressive in your performance, which is so important for this genre. It's something I still have a lot of work to do, but I'm already much better than I was, and I'm just looking forward to just growing in that as much as I can. Number 4, making a hip-hop album. Like I said, I have made a full-length hip-hop album, and I'm dropping it next year. Up until now, I've always released raps as singles, but I've always wanted to do a full-length album. The main reason I finally did it was for practice. I have a lot of growth to do in terms of lyrics and flow, and the best way to get better at it is to do it more. And it is great practice because I can look back at this album, the good and the bad, and I already have so many ideas of how I want to improve in the future. This album isn't even out yet, but I'm already just excited about what I want to do next. Number 5, the success of Back in the Bow. This year I dropped a song about my hometown of Faribault and it did amazingly well. I won't go into much detail here because I have a whole video on it, but I got a ton of kind words and feedback, over 1,000 streams, and 3,000 views on the video. It was really uplifting for me and just good affirmation that I'm taking my art in the right direction. And here's some honorable mentions. I play bass in a band called Soul Folk Union, and we had a lot of great shows this year, but the biggest one, we got to play on the main stage at Minnesota Original Music Fest, which is a big deal for me specifically because that's one of my favorite music festivals. I also play bass with Tanner Peterson, and we got to play at Ribfest this year. The way that one worked is we were on the side stage, so in between the main big bands, we were the fill-in music. which was really cool because it would be a vertical horizon way across the field, finishing a song, and then as soon as they're done, we start. I finally upgraded my live performance keyboard. For a long time I was using the Launchkey Mini Mark III, but this year I upgraded to the Launchkey 37 Mark IV. The big thing for me is just having an extra octave of keys and having full-size keys. It also fits on a traditional keyboard stand, which just makes it easier to set up, and also I can practice at home at the height I'm going to be playing at. I also got a laptop stand which holds my interface as well, so my footprint in terms of what I need to bring to those shows is just smaller. I still have a segment on KMSU. We've now reached 63 episodes, which is an insane number. That's a lot of music that I've put out there on the radio, and it's so cool to be a part of that every week. Definitely one of the highlights of things I've done since living in Mankato. Just a lot of great shows, a lot of great events I've gone to, and I just hope to continue a lot of it for the next year. This isn't a resolution video, but I just want to make a lot more songs, do a lot more collaborations, more videos, more rapping, more coming out of my comfort zone, challenging myself and growing as an artist. And that's it. Hope you have some good resolutions for the year and you're excited. Hope you make a lot of art and do all the cool things that you want to do. Thank you for making it to the end, and I'll see you next time. Peace.